Good morning and welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Clement Manyathela Show. It's just gone 6 minutes past 9 right here on 7:02. My name is Kgomotso Modise. I'm in for Clement this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in and happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a good time. And if you are back at work, I know the people that didn't go back yesterday, some of them are back today, and we'll start to see more and more people returning to the office, returning to work. I hope that you are well rested and ready for the work year ahead. And if you are not, shame. I'm so sorry. You need to start catching up and trying to find ways to get rested so you can begin the year. And if you are just starting work this year, well, welcome. We've been at it throughout the festive season. It's good to have you with us in the room. It is the Clement Manyathela Show. I'm with you between 9 and midday, and I'm looking forward to the conversations that we're going to be having. Of course, in the first hour, it is the open line. So whatever you want to talk about, I'm taking your calls on that. What's been on your mind? Have you been following some of the news stories? It seems to me that the news cycle is starting, it's just been, on that quick start. We've hit the ground running. It doesn't feel like we're easing in. It feels like, it's just starting the year as it comes into effect. But if you've been following some interesting stories, I want to hear from you. What are some of those that have been keeping you up? I hope they're not keeping you up yet. It's just day number 6 in the year. But I take your calls on the open line on 011-883-0702. Alternatively, I take your WhatsApps on 072-702-1702. And then in the second hour, remember how we spoke about Treasury threatening to withhold funding of 75 municipalities. We spoke about that story last week, and 15 of those municipalities happen to be in the Northwest. You had a lot to say about that, and I remember taking so many of your calls with the concerns that you have experienced, what you've seen in the Northwest. Well, we're going to be having the head of department of the cooperative governance department in the Northwest, Dr. Ben Bole, who's going to be coming to speak to us about the affairs in the Northwest. And I think it's good to have this conversation right now, even as the ANC is there getting ready for the January 8th statement at the weekend. So all the questions that you had about the challenges in the Northwest, why certain parts of the province don't have electricity, why there's no water, all of that, I hope that we'll be able to get your calls back on that, and we can direct them to Mr. or Dr. Bole. And then for our World of Work feature, so that conversation in the Northwest is for about 30 minutes. And then we're going to be speaking for the World of Work feature. That's from 11. We're going to be exploring learnerships as pathways to work. Sometimes the traditional university or TVET college route does not work out. Maybe you should be considering learnerships. And how are learnerships how do they work? How do they prepare you for the workplace? I've heard of people that did a learnership and never went to university afterwards. They just continued to upskill. They continued to have more training, to do courses in the workplace, and they are just fine. So we're going to be having that conversation. This is, of course, in the run-up to the matric results being released soon, and I'm sure many of our young ones are considering their options now that they are done with school. So we'll have that conversation between 11 and 11:30. And then in the final half hour of the show, it's our health and wellness feature. And today we're talking about beauty body goals. And most of us set those body goals at the beginning of the year. We set our targets. We say we're so ready to start the year off. But sometimes those goals may have hidden risks. And sometimes they may result in you compromising your health and your mental well-being. I've heard of people doing very crazy things in the name of wanting to have fitness or body goals. So we're going to be having that conversation later on in the show. And my guest for that is Jogini Pakari, who is a qualified counseling psychologist and the head of the South African College of Applied Psychology, helping us make sense of when it's just too much and you need to rein it in, call yourself out, and reconsider those goals. But that is the show, the Clement Manyathela Show this morning. The number to dial if you want to get in touch with us is 011-883-0702. Alternatively, you can also call us on or send us a WhatsApp on 072-702-1702.
702.
Call us on 011-883-0702.
So if it's your If it's your birthday this morning, happy birthday. If it's your birthday today and you are celebrating, I wish you all of the very best. I know when you're a January baby, things can be very, very tough. I've been seeing jokes online, people saying, the year has just started and when you've just already finished your birthday. But yes, January babies have it a little difficult because at this time of the year, things are tight. We are counting the coins. We are looking at the budgets, and the reality of our spending from the month before kind of slaps us in the face, and we realize that we may have gone a little overboard. And I've been thinking, if you are a January baby, how has your birthday been celebrated in your household? Are you among those lucky ones who had parents that planned for you? Or was it just always, happy birthday, we'll see you in February, we'll make a plan for you in February? Or have you had really questionable gifts that you don't really like because of the financial situation? Our producer on the show, Zintle Geluk, is in studio, and she's a January baby. It was your birthday the other day, wasn't it?
Yes, just yesterday.
Yes, it was yesterday. Ooh. And how have you experienced your birthday over the years? Have you been told, we don't have money, sorry?
Yeah, I think in the beginning it was very much about like we don't have money, and especially more, I understand with my friends and everything, but within the family now we've grown to like kind of work around it. Like when you do the December budgeting, we also take that into consideration so that we're like, okay, now we're officially broke after my birthday, not before.
Yeah, and at least your birthday is a little early in the month.
Yeah.
So it's not so bad. But have you ever felt like an afterthought? You know, you hear December babies saying, everyone's birthday is prioritized, but by the time, or January babies, I should say, saying, everyone's birthday is prioritized, but by the time it's my birthday, everyone's just thinking, back to school, back to work. Hey, the coins are not coining.
Yes, people are very much stressed around this time. But also the interesting thing was that I've also seen, because I've been getting a lot of messages and calls that, okay, when I get back to Cape Town, we should do something, or when I'm still here, we should do something a bit later on in the month. So it's like there's like a pre-upcoming date for like what we plan to do, like for example, a coffee or a lunch, so I think that's been interesting. So it's a bit of a mixture for both on my end now. I've experienced, because yesterday we did have a lunch with my family, out like how we would normally do in December. And we've also then had different things. And then also now with my friends, they like promising that, okay, towards month end, they'll take me out. So it's like a bit of a balance within.
Shame. It sounds like you're doing a lot of compromising. You do a lot of compromising.
I got fruit though as a gift.
Fruit? Yeah, I was about to say, what's the worst gift that you've gotten?
I got fruit. I'm a fruit person. Definitely, I love fruit, but
not for your birthday.
I think
Well, I mean, if it is your birthday and you're a January baby, how are you spending your birthday? And have you always been just told, we don't have money, sorry, we'll see you next month, we'll figure it out next month, and unfortunately, sometimes, people say next month and they never do it, right? They never gift you, and you just go without your gift every year.
Sometimes they'll say next month, and then next month happens, and then Valentine's comes and it's there, and then,
yeah, now
the whole year starts rolling.
Shame. Sorry, Zintle. If you are a January baby or you have January babies, get in touch with us. I want to hear from you. How do you go about, helping your children spend their birthday and enjoy it in January? Have you been creative, or are you that parent that just every year it just does a number on you, and you only realize at the end of December, days before your child's birthday, that the birthday is coming and I need to make a plan. 011-883-0702 is the number to dial, and 072-702-1702. It's always interesting for me to see with those January jokes that make the rounds on social media at this time of the year. Everyone is joking about the cabbage, that day. The cabbage, it's your time to shine. Everyone is eating the cabbage and pap. I think they call it John 14. That's the meal, the go-to meal. And in the fridge, it's just onions and water. You know the drill. I hope this year, though, we've been wiser and we found a way to spend our money better in the December, preparing for January. I do have January babies in my family, and I'm trying to think how we celebrate them. I think oftentimes what we try to do is of course, we'll have cake. Cake is the minimum, right? So at least there's enough for cake. But apart from that, after that, I can't think the last time we got my nephew a gift. I think it's always Yeah, we'll see. We try to get him something though at the end of the year for Christmas. I try to remember that when it comes to him. But I can only imagine what it feels like knowing every year that you're just not going to get a gift because of the time of the year. And you had nothing to do with it. You didn't decide to be born in January. It just happened, So yes, I'm very interested in that, the experiences of January babies. And also, what are some of the worst gifts that you've received? Because some people really do want to gift you, but then they don't have much. I mean, Zinhle says she was given fruit. I don't think fruit is a birthday gift. I'm not sure it's a birthday gift. Even though she likes fruit, I think, sometimes we can be a little creative, and we try very hard to be creative at this time of the year because we know that, the coins are just not coming together. All right, that's what I'm taking your calls on. And then, of course, on the current affairs front, lots been happening. Of course, we've been watching Venezuela quite closely, or rather the US, and what's been happening with Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. I stayed up yesterday watching his court appearance. Of course, cameras weren't allowed in the New York court in Brooklyn. But what we know is that he did appear, and he had his lawyers there. He tried to tell them that he is a head of state of another country, basically saying that, I shouldn't be here. And, what we saw yesterday was so interesting because he was basically told, wait, your time will come to make your case, right? And I'm hoping that the American system moves much quicker than the South African one. Because if I was told in a South African court that your time is going to come for you to make your case and tell us all these things about you being a president, I know that's going to take 3 to 5 years. I can just see myself in that court for the next 2 to 3 years trying to tell these people that this arrest is unlawful. He's been told that his time will come for him to make his case, and he will then reveal or of course, say what he believes is wrong with the US's operation. We saw the US also at the UN Assembly there at that meeting backing up their decision, right? Basically saying that they had every right. And we heard the US ambassador to the UN saying that this is not a capture. He said this is not an invasion of a country. So it cannot be likened to what's happening in Russia and Ukraine. And he's basically saying, he's spoken about just what a horrible leader and a horrible person Nicolas Maduro is. And he says that substantiates why he should be captured by the US and tried in the United States. Of course, I mean, the absurdity in that, right? The fact that another country's leader thinks it's okay just because that president, they believe that president is so corrupt and so bad. They are the police of the country, of the world. I'm not sold at all. But yeah, that's a story that's been making headlines. And of course, it's been moving quite a bit. Even in South Africa, we saw that the ANC has called out the Freedom Front Plus, saying the party's views on Venezuela are ill-informed and minimalistic. These views come after Kgomotso Mulder, who's the leader of the FF Plus, criticized the statement by Durko condemning the U.S. invasion. And it seems as though, the Freedom Front Plus wants to take a very conservative approach. The post on his personal account said that the end of the socialist failure in Venezuela should be welcomed. So he's basically saying Maduro is a horrible leader. Let Trump do what he does best. And of course, Durko has a big problem with that. But the ANC also has a big problem with that, even though they are together in the GNU. All right, let's go to the lines. I do see some of you already giving us calls, and I see your voice notes. Let's go to David in Newcastle. David, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
I'm fine. Enjoying my birthday alone here at my mom's place in Newcastle, as usual.
Today is your birthday.
I've got 2 birthdays. I was born on the 4th of January.
Uh-huh.
That's what my mother told me. But the Home Affairs decided to give me the 6th of January. So I've got 2 birthdays.
Brown Mokgotsi, is that you?
And
is that you, Brown?
And guess what? My wife was born on the 1st of January. So with a present. if I don't give her something, then I don't get a present.
And how have
And
how has it been for you as a January baby? Do you ever get a proper gift from your family and friends?
Not really, because I come to Newcastle. I'm in Joburg, but I come home, and then most of the time everyone is going back to work, and then sometimes my kids are in Joburg, and my wife is working at Baragwanath, and she's always at work. Like this, she was working on her birthday, so I don't get that many birthdays. But what I enjoyed last year, I turned 60. And then I decided to slaughter a cow. There is a club in Tembisa, Bupilong Fitness Club. The old ladies, Dr. Catherine, and then she's training the old ladies. Then I want to belong to that club because they looking after their body after 60. So we slaughtered a cow last year, and then I enjoy my birthday like never before.
Yeah.
And they gave me a donation of 5,000 rand. It was a shock.
Ah.
All the ladies are over 40, and they did a wonderful job. I will never forget that club.
That's so
But thank
beautiful.
you, the Pupilong Fitness Club.
Oh.
I really enjoyed it.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh,
Pupilong
David.
Fitness Club.
Ah, man, that just
It was
warms my heart.
humbling. It was humbling. I will never forget.
Oh,
Thank you.
that warms my heart so much, David. I'm so happy for you, and I'm so happy that you have that community that celebrates you. And yes, I think you are one of the lucky ones in this country who get to celebrate your birthday twice. So happy birthday,
Yeah.
David.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what happened with that birthday? They organized everything. There was no stress about the accommodation, the kitchen, and all that, cleaning after that. They did everything, catering. They used their own things, but that club is wonderful. I'm wishing them all the best.
Ah, thank you so much, David, for your call. I think it's such a heartwarming story that you're telling us. And I wish you all of the very best, and I hope you must have a blast today on your birthday. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, that's David in Newcastle there. Isn't that just a beautiful story, you know? And you can hear that he wants to be celebrated and he enjoyed being celebrated, right? And I think sometimes we starve January babies of that. Because, I mean, birthdays are special. They're special, and you feel special on your birthday. And unfortunately, sometimes when you're a January baby, people just kind of continue with their lives. I think it's almost the same with December. People are just so busy, right? And they just think, happy birthday, and they continue with their lives. But you can see what celebrating David did for him. And we're so grateful for Bipolong, but we're also grateful for his life. And we wish him many, many more returns. All right, let's go to Joseph. You're in Mondio in the south of Joburg. Good morning.
Good morning, KG,
Yes.
and compliments of the new season.
But so happy.
Thank you. I'm saying my birthday is also coming on the 27th, but I tell you what, if this happens, then I will celebrate my birthday better.
Okay.
I'm saying that I see the US went all the way to Venezuela, to arrest someone that side, the president.
Yeah.
I think they should come to South Africa, and I've got the address where the people are, somewhere in the northwest, in Rustenburg.
On Saturday.
Where, yeah, so they should go there and go arrest some people. Because I tell you what, Kgomotso, the people in Hammanskraal, which is my hometown, are drinking dirty water. And yet the people are busy blabbering that side about, the Americans should not be doing this, should not be doing that, when we have challenges in our own country. So, please, if you do have Donald Trump's mobile number, give it to me. I will make that call personal and say, listen, Mr. Trump, I know the address where they are in the northwest, in Rustenburg. I will take you straight there.
Joseph, unfortunately, Donald Trump coming here would not be liberation for us, even as much as I think it's very tempting. And I always say this, Joseph, that South Africans we are so desperate for a savior. That's why we accept anyone who seems to be providing us with a solution. And I think that's what the people of Venezuela are going through as well. They are so frustrated with Maduro and his ways that they think anything is better than this. But I can tell you that not with the US and not with Donald Trump. He basically said, did you see what he said yesterday? He was saying, we are running the show now.
Well,
Yeah.
I tell you what, much as I do not agree with so many things that Donald Trump says and whatever.
Yeah.
But if you could just go to Rustenburg, and sort out this problem, there's a few people that are in Rustenburg that needs to be taken away.
Yeah.
And then I tell you what, South Africa will be in a better place, honestly speaking. I'm telling you right now that the people in my hometown in Hammanskraal are drinking dirty water. 30 years, KG.
Joseph in Mandio, thank you so much. Happy birthday for the 27th. If I don't speak to you or see you, happy birthday.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Wish you all the very best.
Okay, bye.
That's Joseph in Mondio. And his sentiment and what he's saying, I think, resounds with so many and resonates with so many people. The fact that, while, of course, he's joking and it's a joke that Trump must come in and swoop and help us and do here what he just done in Venezuela. I think it's the desperation that people have. The fact that the service delivery is so shoddy, it's so poor, that anything should be better than this. And I can only imagine being a person in Hammanskraal. In fact, I've been to Hammanskraal on a story covering their water crisis and how much money they spend on that. In Hammanskraal, when they give a stationery list for the children in the creches and nursery schools, there's water on that list, bottled water. Parents are told you must buy this many bottles of water. And the normal children or all the other children in this country must just buy what? Paper, tissue, diapers if your child is using diapers. But in Hammanskraal, water is on that list. And if your child doesn't bring water, they are pushed and they are told regularly to say, you need to bring 5 liters of water. You need to bring 10 liters of water. That cannot be life. Not in 2025. Not in a country that we showcased during the G20 as such a modern place. We have all our ducks in a row, but there are people in Hammanskraal who are being forced to buy water to take their children to school with that water just because you can't get the water crisis right. And so I understand the frustration and I hear it 100% and it is valid. And I truly, truly hope that it doesn't fall on deaf ears. But yeah, I suppose all we can do is speak about it. It is the open line. Let's take one voice note and have a listen to what some of you have to say.
Hi, Kgomotso. Hope you're well. It's Hunadi here from Cosmo City. I am a January baby on the 11th of Jan. And how I spend it now, since I have kids, is in the stationery aisle. I am running around buying books, pencils, uniforms, socks. And even as a child, before I got anything, I knew Naga my birthday, if there's change after stationery and buying uniform, then I can get something. The number one excuse is you're going back to school. And now I'm using the same excuse for my kids. So I'm not even breaking the cycle. It's just that being a January baby, it is sad.
Shame, man. I can imagine. I'm sure your stationery, Hunadi, was the gift. They say, listen, we bought you, this time we bought you a very nice pencil case. Happy birthday. I can only imagine how that must feel. And I think many January babies have been experiencing the same. It's the fact that you should just be grateful that you are alive and that we have you and we love you. And if you're lucky, you get cake. We're talking about January babies and how have you been celebrating your birthday as a January baby? Especially because we know at this time of the year, the money is it's scarce and the coins don't always come together. How have you celebrated over the years? And have your parents been the types to kind of, make sure they plan for you, or have you just received the leftovers as Hunadi did? It is 9:30.
702.
Call us on 011 883 0702.
Money, Mama Kgomotso, Mama Kgomotso. Nowadays it's not about like before, Mama. No, we know we can make into some pride. I say over Vavumela or but to blow at the whole new country December time. So we know we put the full tank. Even though we're gonna do a prayer on weekend, there's no any pressure here like before. Nowadays it was simple. Mama Kgomotso, they were simple.
As Kgomotso, with me,
I hardly get any gifts. Even when they say that we'll see in February, when February comes, I never get the gifts. But the last gift that I received was somebody offering to pay for my driver's and learner's licenses, which I am appreciative for. But I just wish that I would get a physical gift for once, and I never get it. The last time I got a physical gift was 2012, and when my friend bought me a Bible. So yeah, it's Kia here from Joburg.
Hi, Kgomotso. Happy Tuesday. What a lovely, lovely, beautiful show. So in terms of January babies, my firstborn daughter, she's a January baby. She was born on the 24th of January. When I found out she was going to be a January baby, I was just holding thumbs. I was like, can she just come on payday at least? I was like, hold on, baby girl, hold on. She came on the 21st at midnight. She couldn't hold on any longer. So what I do is I plan her birthday from like November, December. I start getting the theme together when she requests a certain theme. I started getting together.
You can see the parents who were overachievers at school, eh? The people that planned, that got their ducks in a row. And I think that's actually, it's absolutely beautiful that you plan for your children because you know the birthday is coming. Why must the child's birthday always take you by surprise? You know that your child is born in January. You know that they're going to want a gift. It's not a surprise. But for some reason, when it comes to January birthdays, sure, yeah, people are just surprised, every year. It's like we didn't know that this child is going to be celebrating their birthday. Let's go to the calls. Kathy, you're in Johannesburg. Good morning.
Good morning, Kgomotso. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Go ahead.
That's good. I married a January baby, and I was absolutely horrified that nobody celebrated his birthday. It was kind of melded into Christmas with his parents. I never saw them give him a birthday gift. And then she was a planned baby for January for schooling in those days. And she came on the 31st of December, which is, a lot of people say, oh, how wonderful, everybody's celebrating your birthday. They're not. They're all celebrating New Year's Eve, and her friends are scattered all over the place. But I have made a concerted effort for the last 27 years to make sure that Christmas is one thing for the family. Her birthday is her birthday, and it's a very, very special day, and we have our own little way of celebrating.
Yes.
Her father, 2 days later, his birthday is a special day, and somehow I managed to limp through January financially, and I do always make sure she has a birthday party or a birthday dinner or whatever with her friends.
Yes.
I hemorrhage cash at that time of the year. But you're right, it's not their fault for being born when they were born.
Yes.
So yeah, for me, it's very important to differentiate between the two and just make sure that it's a really special time for them.
And tell me, with your partner, did you then start being intentional about the gifting once you realized what was going on?
Well, when we first started going, with my husband,
Yes.
when we first started going out, I always made sure that I bought him a birthday present. And then when I was lucky enough to be introduced to my in-laws, I was quite horrified to realize that they just didn't really acknowledge the day. It was, well, you got a gift on, for Christmas, if they were all together as a family. And I just thought that was really unfair.
Yeah.
So he still actually struggles with the concept of me going off and buying birthday gifts for him on his birthday. But Christmas was the other day. He also cannot wrap his head around the fact that I always make such a big shindig of our daughter's birthday. She's our only child. And, so I to me, a birthday is special. It's a really important day until you get to my age. Then they just kind of go by the wayside. We don't really talk about them too much. But listen, a wonderful show, wonderful topic. Glad to have 702 back again and to be listening to you guys on the radio after my break. And all the best for 2026.
Thank you so much, Kathy, and thank you for tuning in.
Have a lovely day.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
you too. Bye. It's always beautiful when people are intentional, hey? So lovely. And I think that's, in some spaces, there's just no culture of gifting, I'm actually trying to think, some of my family are gifters, some are just not. And I'm trying very hard to be a gifter for my daughter. I have a young daughter who's just 1. And I'm trying, even though I try and not go over the top, I do think when you're 1, you don't really know what's going on. So I'm not going to buy you designer things. Well, actually, I mean, I couldn't afford designer things, but I do think that you try gift and create the culture of gifting. And it's always sad for me when their birthdays just become another day. It's so special. It's the day that you were born, the day the world got blessed with you and your talents. And there's no other person like you. There's no other Kgomotso. It's just me, right? And it should be a reason to celebrate. It's very sad when people don't take it seriously. Let's go to Kilani. We've got Eunice on the line. Eunice, good morning and welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks. Hi there, Kgomotso. Kgomotso, I want to speak of journalism as a means of, getting through the message to the public as such.
Yeah.
Now, the BBC have just issued out a statement to their journalists in the case of Nicolas Maduro, the Venezuelan president, that not to mention the word kidnapped, but rather to mention the word he was captured or seized. Now, clearly that compromises true journalism as such. And by all means, in anyone's listening, that we all know that Nicolas Maduro was kidnapped.
Yeah.
So to make it less palatable, say the words captured or seized.
Yeah.
Now, I find that compromising journalism as such. And just to juxtapose that, during the December period, I think an article was written in Daily Maverick by one of your former talk show hosts, Ridi Tlabi, a fantastic article, and where she wrote there that the quiet violence of acquiescence and why journalism cannot be detached. And therein where she writes that she came down and she moderated Francisca Albanese's when she was down here. She was a moderator there. And actually, that it's a very good article. If you get a chance, read it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it says there, that, journalists have to be in the forefront, have to talk the truth, and if truth to power. And if the BBC themselves are compromising their journalists here, then I find it very hard to believe that where the actual truth of the matter is going to come out. And we've seen this elsewhere in the world where journalists are being compromised. Some are scared to talk the truth. Some are not this thing. And I find this very, very concerning here.
Yeah.
In the case of Venezuela, we all know what happened there. I mean, the Americans, for example, can't just go in there and just do as they please, and the rest of the world have to just compromise those countries that are subservient to the U.S. We've seen now how they've just towing the Trump line there,
Yeah.
Talking of which, now, sorry, yes?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen, I must say, Eunice, I haven't seen that from the BBC. And I'm very surprised that they'd say something like that. And I've opened up, Google here just to check the word kidnapping, just to, try to understand that it is what I think it is, because I've been using kidnapping. And I actually think it's the perfect word, even more than capture or abduct. It says kidnapping is the illegal relocation and confinement of a person against their will. Now, that's exactly what's happened here with Maduro, is it not?
Precisely. He was taken against his will, and here we have a sitting president of a country and with his wife, and they were taken away illegally. So, it's kidnapping. It's because I'm saying, is it because the Americans are a superpower? They've done it. No, you can't use those words. Use less palatable words. I mean, for example, the public can just say, no, they were captured or something like that. No, it's wrong, and we need truth to power here. And I think Reedy's article says it's all there in terms of how journalism and journalists should conduct themselves. For example, now, I read another terrific piece this last weekend in the Sunday Times by Banim Tomboti, where he says that the current, the U.S. ambassador that's going to come to South Africa, Bosel, he's already issued out 4 or 5 so to say, instructions to our government what to do. He's got no right to come and demand that our government should do this or do that. He's a representative of another government. But he cannot, come and impose his will here and say, these are the instructions he's going to give our government. And Barney says it rightly. Barney says, our government should actually tell Bosel, get out. I mean, the same thing if you say, now if you take Bosel and what Ibrahim Rasool did when he went there, he said, half the things what Bozel is saying, and he was kicked out in 72 hours. We're not a superpower, but the fact is we've got to hold our own, and we have to talk to power.
Yeah. Eunice, listen, thank you so much for your call.
Thanks.
You raised very important points there. I mean, I don't understand why we must be required to use more palatable language, especially when there are clear violations here. I mean, in terms of international law, I think it's been established that what Trump did was wrong. It was unlawful in terms of international law, and I don't think we should call it anything else. It is kidnapping. If you want to say capture, it's fine. Semantics, if you ask me. And I mean, you're just trying to be politically correct, but I think kidnapping is the correct term to use, and I cannot see why the BBC would do that. Of course, I am going to look for that letter from the BBC. I'm very interested in what they're saying to their journalists.
702.
Call us on 011 883 0702.
Yeah, Kgomotso, yeah, this thing of birthday, mine is on 14 January, in the middle of the month. I don't even ever get a present. Even sometimes I always forget about my birthday because there's nothing that will be special. Everyone is broke. Thank you, it's Anderson here.
Good morning, Kgomotso. My son's name is Nkanyi, so his birthday was yesterday. He was turning 11. So what I did, I just bought him a cake and a cold drink. And then later in the afternoon, he called 5 of his friends. They came, they sang him happy birthday, and then they had a cake and a drink. And the cold drink, yeah, that was it. Yeah. So that's all I did because I still have to think about the transport next week and the stationery. So yeah, January babies, a very big problem. Thank you, Kgomotso. Namsa from Orange Farm.
Hey,
good morning, Kgomotso, and good morning to all 702 listeners. Happy New Year to everybody. Sebastian here, El Dorado Park. Yes, it started with Venezuela. His sights are on Greenland. His sights are going to be on Cuba. He doesn't like South Africa. So I'm telling you now, the narrative that Donald Trump is pushing out there is that he is the police chief of the world and nobody can stop him. And if the other countries in the world do not stand up against this tyrant, we are in for a very terrible 2026. So we need to stand up. South Africa, I still say you are still doing your best job. Thank you to the Foreign Affairs Department. Great show, Kgomotso. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you so much for those voice notes. Yeah, I mean, I can just see Donald Trump saying, oh, the white genocide has just gone so out of hand. So many people have been murdered. People's land has been taken so much. And the world South Africa needs me. It needs me to intervene. It needs me to hold these people accountable. I can just see him doing that. I mean, it sounds to me like he's laying a foundation. The fact that it's been proved to him so many times that there is no white genocide, and he keeps insisting, and he makes decisions based on this lie, says everything we need to know. And I think he's going to use this at some point to make whatever moves. I can see him saying, oh, I need to go to South Africa and intervene because all the white people are being killed. I mean, yeah. Listen, let's take more of your voice notes and your calls. I do see all of them coming in, so many of them making their way. But maybe let's go to the phone lines. Lindeni has been holding for a while. Lindeni, you're in Kyalami. Good morning.
Good morning, Kgomotso. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks. Go ahead.
I have my birthday on the 10th of January. I must say that for as long as time, especially when I was at school, the schools were always closed. When I was at varsity, it was the same thing. Now at work, people are coming back, they are tired, they don't have money. But over time, I've just learned to plan my birthday and do the most for myself. But I must say that when it comes to family, my family, they've done the most. I remember there was a year where my sisters planned to come here, surprised me from Devon.
Oh, no. I think we lost Lindeni there. That was such a beautiful call, such a warm call. Maybe we can try get her back. I think she's got such a lovely story to tell there. It's beautiful when people share the stories of how, as January babies, their experience is a little different. We're going to try get her back on the line. Maybe in the meantime, let's take a voice note.
Good morning, KG and your team. I hope you guys are all good. Compliments of the new year. KG, I really feel for the Jan babies, and yeah, it must be tough for them. But I also have a different setup here where I have a wife whose birthday is on the 18th of December, and my son's birthday is on the 31st of December. So bear in mind, I have to make sure that the birthday presents are there, and also think of the Christmas presents that are there. So I'm in trouble. December for me is really, really, really traumatic.
Listen, I hope you don't have any birthdays in January, because that would be horrible, right? The fact that you spent so much in December and now you must also spend in January. But yes, when it comes to the Christmas gifts as well, I think that's the tricky part about being born in December. Everyone's happy, everyone's celebrating, but also everyone is going on about their lives. Hey, who busy? People don't have time for you and your birthday. People start saying happy birthday at the beginning of December to all of you, the people that are born in December, saying happy birthday to all of you all at once. We're busy. It's the big days, as they say. But yes, I'm taking your calls and your voice notes on people's birthdays in January. January babies who have it really tough, man, at this time of the year. Oh, yeah, it's hard. But I think we have Lindeni back on the line. Yay, that's great. I think we lost you there. Lindeni, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Thank you. What I was saying is that my birthday is on the 10th of January. And for as long as time, I had found it very difficult because we either closed at school when I was at school, and when I was at varsity, you come back to work, people don't have money and they're actually grumpy and all that. So I've learned over time to just prepare and celebrate my birthday. But I must say that when it comes to family, they do the most. They had travel, come to Johannesburg, surprise me. If they don't come here, they do something. But if you're a January baby, I will just say to you, just prepare and just spoil yourself if people are not spoiling you.
Ish. And I think what's tough is that now when you're a little older and you have the means to spoil yourself, then now it's back to school. And now you must be spending the money on other people as well. You almost never get the chance to spoil yourself.
No. I plan it. I always do plan it that as much as I will have the kids going back to school, I have myself with my birthday as well.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you so much for your call, Lindeni. And happy birthday for next week.
Thank you.
That's lovely there. People that plan, people that put their ducks in a row. Birthdays are important. We must prioritize them. Ntabi, you're in Alberton. Good morning.
Hi, Kgomotso. Compliments of the new year.
Thank you, OC. Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you. So, I'm the January baby as well. I thought I should make this call, hey?
Yes.
I'm very early in January, the 1st of Jan.
So, your birthday is gone, Tabi. Finished for the year.
No, not really. Not according to me.
Okay.
So mine is the 1st, and for the longest time I realized that no, this is not really working. So I always have a plan. I make sure that on the 31st already, we go out.
Okay.
To celebrate, so that when it's, when the clock ticks, the 1st of January, we're there. I'm already celebrating my birthday.
Okay.
So that works out for me. But generally with the friends and that, it's like people forget. They even send you the birthday message. I get it on the 31st. Like, Tabi, if we get busy and we forget happy birthday in advance. Like,
sure. Does that make it, do you feel special after that?
But no, me, I don't have so much of expectations from people because people will disappoint you. So, because I plan it that on the 1st, the 31st, I'll go out and make sure, I ask my husband, make sure that you plan something for me.
Yes.
It's not a surprise. I know it's my birthday. You know it's my birthday. So let's go out. And then my son, who's born, we now there's like two January babies in the house. My son was born the 11th of Jan.
Sure.
for my son, I also make sure I plan. These things are planned. It's not a surprise that you sleep today and tomorrow you wake up, you're like, oh, it's my birthday, like you didn't know. So we plan thoroughly. Now, my son he's still in the Free State visiting my mom, but he is coming back and we are going to celebrate next week. We always plan. I was feeling sad as a child, but I said, you know what, going forward, when I had him, I said, no ways. The Capricorns are going to celebrate.
Yes. Oh, I love that intentionality. Yes. I love the fact that you put in so much effort.
We very intentional. Like now you were saying my birthday is over. No, it's not over. Already we're planning for next year. So no.
I love this. Were you an A student? Were you those kids, who just had their ducks in the row, who planned always?
You're now putting me on the spot. I was actually.
You do. You sound like those children,
Thank you.
And I think you carry that with you. It's beautiful to hear, Ntabi. Thank you for your call.
Thank you, Kgomotso.
All right, that's Ntabi in Malbert. Yeah, it's not a surprise. Your birthday should not be a surprise. Thank you so much for your voice notes and thank you for your calls. I do see them coming in, and we are at the end of the open line, but it's been lovely hearing from you all. And all the January babies, a happy birthday for the month ahead. If you've already bubudlad, as they say, or have already finished your birthday, sorry, but we hope that you had a good time celebrating.